All right. I think we are streaming. I'll check this here real quick. Sounds good. I think I've got a chat window popped out as well. Yeah, that is. Both those windows. Start. Oh, hello. Guess we'll start off with our normal good meridian. Everyone, how is everyone doing today? I think I can pop this chat out now. Let's see. All right. And I think I can highlight that, pop up window, but got OBS. Highlight, properties. Try that. And that's still not working. One of the things I'm trying out today, I think I'm trying out today, is a pop-up window chat. Like it's down a bar. So how about that? I can hold Alt. All right. Building a spawn site. Okay, maybe one of these days I'll have everything set up properly right from the beginning. Trying out these new features. That's good. And then I should be able to clear it. And it goes away. Awesome. Perfect. All right, well, let's get playing. So we're playing 2 Hours, One Life. And in the description of this video, I should have the links for downloading the game. It can be installed on Windows and Linux, and I'm running it on Linux myself. And then also there's another link in the description for adding a game modification or extension called Hetu, and that allows some kind of fancy things. It allows using your mouse scroll wheel and some other things to zoom in a lot more or out a lot more from within the game, and has a whole bunch of other kind of neat features showing you the age of your player. Yes, you can live up to 120 years, and also your XY coordinates in the game as well. So if you want to join me, you can download the game, and when you go, I think you have to play through a tutorial first. I'm not sure of a way to avoid that. And then once you get in, you can ask me for the spawn code. I don't want to give it publicly just because we might get griefers and people who are trying to annoy us and stuff like that. So I really only want people that are friends of ours. But if I know you, or if you're new to the chat and you're chatting a little bit, then I can give you our spawn code, and that'll allow you to play with us in that area and help us build this new spawn site. Yeah. So let's go ahead and play. One of the things that I will mention here is, if you're not too familiar with the game, probably the hardest thing to do when you're starting a new site, especially when you're not living in a big city or when you're playing by yourself or with just a few people, food is a very big deal. And so we can move around. I've created a couple of items for us: fur coat, loincloth, hat, and so on. As we zoom out a little bit, come up to this area, you can see I've already started to build a few things, or maybe not build is the right word, but I've started to collect a few things over here. And I'm starting a little garden, little milkweed stuff. Had been all around here. I've used up a lot of that, but we'll grow some more. And further up here, see, I've collected a lot more items, and here's where our little village really starts, where we've got some skinned rabbit, we've got our adobe kiln, got a little garden over here, and so we're trying to grow enough foods. For myself, if one of y'all come in and play, y'all are welcome to eat the foods and try to live a complete life. For me right now, one of my main goals is to start producing enough food that we all can live a normal 120-year life, which would be 2 hours. And so to do that, it's a little tricky. And what I'm doing is I'm generally not eating myself. You got to watch your food meter as you are living. And if your food meter drops all the way to 0, you'll starve. And it's pretty easy, pretty quick starve if you don't get some food. One of the things that we would like to do is you get bonuses, these bonus levels, if you have varieties of foods. And so you only want to eat 1 carrot, and then 1 onion, and then 1 garlic, and 1 pepper, and so on, and not eat multiples of those, because that builds up your bonus levels. And then when you do eat other items in the future, your food will last a lot longer with those applied bonuses for the variety that you're eating. So that's one of the big things, as some of y'all might start to join our game here. And when I die, I'm just going to walk away, or when I personally starting to starve, I'm not going to be eating. I'm going to try to leave the food for y'all. Then I'm going to walk away from our town, because when we die, we leave bones, and we don't want to clutter up our little city or village. So of course you start at 14 years old if you're going to spawn in with us, and you can live to 120. I died of starvation, but we can just click on OK. We can say get reborn again, and we start right back in the same place, our little spawn point right here in this cluster of trees. And then if you walk off to the left and north a little bit, then you will see our camp. I will be building a road up to this little area shortly. And then there is food here. And if you know how to play, great. We could certainly use some people who already have some of these skills to help us build and get started. Also, another reason that I'm not going to be eating a lot of food myself right off the bat is because I don't want to run through or grind through our food so quickly. Like I said, I would like to leave it for y'all as much as possible. And because I'm a little slow at the game right now, it's been a year since I've played last time. And even then I wasn't great. But I've forgotten how to do a lot of things. And I've also gotten a little out of practice, I guess. Some of these things you have to do in a certain time frame. You've got a certain amount of time to light this fire and get the fire going, and the fire is going to go out automatically after so many minutes or sometimes seconds for something to happen. And if I'm going to fire up some plates or these wet clay bowls we need to harden and put in the kiln, and we've only got a certain amount of time to do that with these wooden tongs, and I'm a little slow at doing all that right now. And so I don't want to waste the food on myself for that. I'd rather just start building up a bunch of food, storing it and storing it and storing it. And then after a couple of minutes, when my time is up and I'm about to starve, I'll just walk off the set here a little bit. Okay. So just giving you a little bit of background about what I'm doing. I would like to kind of make it as fun as interesting for y'all, those who join, as much as possible. And I'm going to do a little bit more of the boring hard work, let's say. Something I do want to do is I want to build a road. I'm about to starve here, but I'll pick up these flat rocks and maybe I'll start to bring them back to area general. That way we can start to build a little road. One of the most important things, I suppose, would be to get the food. Maybe one thing I should do before I really start to work on the road is start to build up our food storages a little bit more. That way I can play for 2 hours straight myself. And let's see, what have we got? I've got a squash that's going there. That's good. We've got some peppers growing. We've got some corn growing. And I forget a really good way that I had to, or that I had set up some of our gardens in the past. But I think what I would kind of like to do is build a road right here vertically next to our garden area. And then on the side of that, we can have the gardens. And what I did last time is right alongside of the road for a whole bunch of tiles, you had foods that you could eat. And so people coming in, myself and anyone else who's coming in, we could just walk along the road and pick up food, edible food, right along the side of the road very handily. I think I might do that for again. Here is a well site that we're about to dig. That's gonna, maybe it's a little ways off, although perhaps I should do it soon. One of the things that we need to do here is if I come over here and I look at a well site, shallow well, and we can look at the technology tree for this. I've got this well site right here with our stones. And the only other thing that I need to do to actually build that is have a bronze shovel. The long straight shafts are easy enough to do, but bronze shovel head a little bit more challenging. If we look at that, we can see that what we're going to need is a file blank, bronze file blank, and a smithing hammer, and I guess that's a bronze smithing hammer head, I guess. And for these things, we really need to get some things created that I haven't even started to work on, like the ore and the bronze. So if someone wants to jump in and help get that going, that would be great while I'm working on food. Otherwise, I don't mind doing this myself, but it'll just take a little bit of time to get done. In the meantime, we will just not worry about the well. All right. Get reborn. Okay, let's see. Again, there's clothes here if somebody wants it. Eventually I will make another set of clothes. People. Just rabbit skin and threads. Yeah. All right, let's try this. Noob says, why does a diesel mining kit take forever to make? We're playing in a global game, apparently. I'm not sure if... I think this is a feature of the game extension or the mod that I have. Let's see. Also, one thing I'll mention about eating food, if you can follow with what the cravings are down here in the lower left, so it looks like I'm craving an apple, I gain +2 levels right away. And if you can keep doing that and following your cravings down here in the lower left, that'll really help boost your food gains right there, and you won't quite die as quickly. see here. Let's move out this set of bones. We can grab a basket. Other stuff. Grab the lot of something. Scoop up the bones. Let's just dump them out of the video. And we have a little crafting chart over here. I'm going to minimize that for now. Already starving again. I think I discovered that I can live for about 3 minutes or so and then restarting. But ultimately, it's still better on our food storages if I do it this way, at least for now, until I build up our gardens back. I don't want to overrun the well site with the road, so I think I actually want to put the road. I want the road right next. That would be okay. In fact, that might even be beneficial. It's easy enough to just get started back. All right. I think I am going to start the road. Let's just get that started right here in this certain place. So flat rocks. I'm going to bring a couple of flat rocks up to right alongside here. One. Another one right there. Another one. Can I put that on that pile? Let's move these worms. Side of the road. Out of the way. Pepper right there. Zoom in more if we want to as well. See what we're doing a little bit. Move those peppers off. Keep an eye on our food. All right, so let's back out. Let's grab some more of these flat rocks. Drop them over here. I think I can only carry one rock at a time. We had a cart, which eventually we will build. Then be able to carry 4 or 5 of these at once. But this is fine. You've got 2 food points left on the food meter. Doing too much more of this. We have to restart. That's okay. All right, we've got some round here. We're just about to starve, so let's just get out of it. Start. Corn. Start again. Hopefully I'll have a good garden for us all set up really soon. Okay, so now that we got these flat rocks to start our road, what we want to do is grab a sharp stone. And then we want to come over to these wood piles. I think I can hit that all at once. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lay these out. Pick another one off the tree and put a lot more. Those 2 branches might not actually, not going to work for us. Branches. Bit. we need trees like from maple, branches from the maple here. Since we're here at these white pines, they give us some good tinder. So we're just going to pluck those out so they can regenerate. Easier to see. And then I can grab my sharp stone and just hit these 1, 2, got short staff, 3. Now we have stakes. 2, 3, 3, 3, 1. Work. This work. All right. We're almost starved. So let's just go here. Got a lot more stuff picked over here. In fact, I even have another little way up to the northeast. Got another little village kind of started. I think it's got a kiln. I think it's got some other stuff up there already. It's a nicer area, but it's not close to our spawn point. Kind of wanted to keep that spawn point. Oops, let's go back. Play. Oh, one thing that I want to double check. I haven't seen anyone in chat yet. Maybe there's nobody here yet? Probably not. All right. So let's get back over here. And what we really could use, tell you what, one thing I do want to grab from this stuff is the backpack. Backpack is going to allow us to carry 4 things at once. Let's have our hands open and free. And then I think we want to grab basket. Since we're down here, let's pick that mushroom, put it over there. And we can right click on that. Can we press Q? Put that in our backpack. 2, 3, 4. And I don't think we can carry any more in our backpack. Nope. But we can keep one in our hands. That'll be 5. Then what we can do, I think we want to put that down there, grab a round stone, if I remember correctly, tap that to make this floor stakes, and then we can drop the slab on there, and now we get it, right? So again, we can drop that, put that there, tap that, drop it there, put that down, and we can continue on. I see that I'm about to starve, but now we're getting a little somewhere. I'm going to take off my backpack, get out of town. Back to it again. And that road built for us all. That'll make our movement 150% normal speed. And also it gives us a little bit of warmth also. I don't know if, I haven't really talked about the temperature meter. We want to try to keep this temperature meter as close as possible to this black line in the middle. We don't want to be too cold. We don't want to be hot. Wearing clothes helps with that, including the backpack. You put this on, you should see our temperature go up a little bit from where it's at right now, probably. How long it takes. Move or maybe it's not substantial enough to worry about. And then also standing on the road. Apparently the road has a little bit of insulation as well. So working in our garden on the road should also. Let's see, we've got stakes, stone, slab. Click on it real precisely. Oh, and I remember this also. It's better to come from the north to the south since your body of your character is right in the way of this. So what I should really do is start at the top. Start there. Drop this off to the side just temporarily. Grab our stone. Tap it top. Drop that on there. No, I can't. Makes different things if I do. We want the 4 stakes. That right there. Put that down. That off. Run off because we're about to starve again. Corn. And back at it again. Ultimately, I'll get a axe and we'll chop down a couple of these trees to get the, you know, how much faster we're going on that road. All right. Grab our backpack again. Grab this one here. And pick up the stakes. Drop those. Pick up the, tap that. Grab that. Put it down. Yeah, that works a lot better. I think I'm still doing this as efficiently as I could. Our floor stake, right there. Drop these stakes there, and then we can that branch over. Okay, good deal. Something else I remembered is you're running on this road, you keep going. Can I press space and stop? No. I think only way I found to stop was to kind of click off of the road for a little bit. So if you want to go here and then stop, you'd have to walk off the road a little bit. There might be another keystroke or another way to stop on the road, but I forget. Anyway, let's see. Oh man, I starved right on the road. All right, so here, backpack. I think we've got some stakes. Oh, All of those things came out of my backpack too, didn't they? Something I had forgotten, which I'm noticing right now, is that I guess you only need one set of stakes to continue on with this road. You don't need stakes. You don't need as many stakes as you have roads. I'd forgotten that. So that's good to be a little bit more efficient. Drop that there. All right. Got our road, and I think what I wanted. I probably want to start this road going off to the left. Well, we've got our well site here. I think I want the road to the left right above the well sites. We've got a grid along with these well sites, right? Of course, I think most of y'all know, we've played this a couple of times, that the well sites are in a grid. And I forget how many tiles they are between the well sites, both left and right and up and down. If you notice here in the green biome, when you have a well site, you can see it a little bit in the tan biome or the marsh biome. I get the exact name of it. You can see this little ridge or this little line. Same thing here in the green. It's more prevalent. You can see it easier. This little black gray line. So that whenever you're wandering in the wilderness, that is a way that you can determine or help find those well sites. So if we were like way over here and we were looking closely and we were looking for a little line, we could find where that next well site was. It's harder to see in this type of a biome right here. That's why I always try to look for them in the green biomes. But it is still there, visible in those other biomes very slightly. All right, let's see. Corn. Now that we've got a little bit of a road here, it is going to help us slightly be a little bit more insulated. It's going to allow us to move a little quicker. It is going to kind of allow us to keep things a little bit more organized, I also feel. Let's decide how we want to plan out this garden area. I think what we want to do, if I remember correctly, I had it done a really good way before. See if I can use a basket to pick up this soil. Only use a clay bowl. Could have a clay bowl here. I can scoop up that soil. All right. So there's a basket. That basket. Like nothing's in the basket. It's fine. All right. So we've got corn. And what I really want to do here is set this up where right along the side of the road is where we've got our edible foods, like we've got them here, but let's put it on this other side. And then we're going to have several rows for that food, and that seemed to work out pretty well. And then on the far side, we had seeds. And that worked out really well. So we had seeds, and then we had the planting of it, and then we had the edibles right up next to the road. Probably ought to play, or at least watch some YouTube videos from some other people doing it. I might even need to play with some other humans to try to get or see if that's one of the more efficient ways to do gardens and feeding people or not. Last year, we had someone come in who was pretty good at 2 Hours One Life, and he built some really cool stuff for us. Hopefully, I will be able to learn all that myself. But we might get some advanced players in with us also. All right, so I think pretty far away from, see if we can get a composting box. Let's see how to build that. So we need a basket, which we can easily get. And we have a full box. We have a composting box here. We're going to need a shovel to get dung before we can really build the composting. And we're also going to need, I don't think that's true. I think we can use other things in the composting box. Is that true? So this is shovel of dung. Show more ways. Dung, dung, and dung. Maybe that is just the only way to do it. And then to get it fermenting, maybe that's what I was thinking of, that we can throw in a number of other things, just almost anything, to get it to start fermenting. All right. I'm about to starve. And that reason right there is why I'm not eating food. Because oftentimes I'll have to go and look up things, and when I'm looking up things, then my character is still, consuming food. I would just be wasting it. I think one thing that I can do fairly easily is get another set of clothes for another player if someone wants to join. Maybe we should work on that. Although it would certainly be easier to get all that stuff done if I had a bunch of edible food and I could go for a full 2 hours One Life. Maybe that still is the best thing to do. All right, so let's work on that. Got our corn. A bunch of these. Tell you what, let's have our garden off to the right hand. Probably a bad idea to put that kiln there. Well side is over on this side anyway. We could make a better floor over the marsh. Probably just gonna work out better. Especially since it's kind of already set up that way. Okay, so I have a spreadsheet where I've got certain types of things. Burdock root. I feel like that's something that we would want to eat. The gooseberries is one thing that we probably want to be eating first. There's a bowl of gooseberries right here. Let's bring this down and just put that right here. The first thing we probably want is to eat is the gooseberries. And part of the reason for that is its food value is a 1, and so that will just kick us off with the lowest level. I have a feeling that we want to be eating higher valued foods when there's a higher bonus. But I haven't tested that yet, and that is something that eventually I do want to test. Back up here. All right, so we got gooseberries, and another beans and carrots are a little bit lower rated food. So gooseberries have a rating of 1, beans and carrots have a rating of 3, and then there's several other things that have ratings of 4. So we're going to prefer to eat these lower values foods first. Oh, that's a wild carrot, I think. Oh, that's the burdock root. Let's throw that over here. Carrots. Over here next. And then tomato seeds. I guess for now, and put the seeds over here. I should really move the kiln somewhere a little further away, which unfortunately I don't think I can move it. So we're gonna have to just rebuild it over here. In fact, I don't even know how I can destroy it. Let's step out of the way. Let's see, kiln. Adobe kiln. What can I do to... I can take a mining pickaxe to it and eventually destroy it, but I'm a far away from a steel mining pick. We're just going to have to live with that mistake for a while. Fine. So while we're about to starve, bring in a few flat rocks. Okay. Maybe we also want to build out walkway here. So many trees. Really be getting an axe soon and chop some of the stuff down. Of flat rocks for us. Slow going. One of the things I remember doing in the past, I built out the road over there, the stuff, so we could at least get to some of these places a little quicker. I feel like that's almost what I want to do. So notice that right down here, is the next natural spring, which would be a well site. Notice the little horizontal line across there, left and right, to help. I don't know why that is. Or if it's on purpose to help people find these natural springs, or if it's just some artifact of the game. But whatever the case is, handy. Know that. And so our road, left and right, should be right along this path anyway. Well, maybe what we want to do is build out this road. So we can be a little faster. I also see that we've got a bunch of, can I use WSAD, and through there's a bunch of trees. That's the trees through. Got this spring right there. We zoom out, got a lot of marshy swamp area. Then if we go straight down, there's a jungle a little bit down here to the left. Some of us might want to do something with the jungle area. Bananas, some other stuff. Food up. Or sugar cane. Where I got the tomato and the peppers. Okay. Don't even have a backpack with me. Avoid the wolves. We don't want to get eaten. And maybe what we want to do is start looking at that road. Left and right. Actually, close to that point. Not quite on that point. Good. Better. Pardon a little. So maybe I should try to see how far I can get in the 2 hours of life eating the food that I've already got. So we've got carrots. It's a little bit more to get this worked on. Then we can do, yes, garlic and onion is fine. Let's bring these carrots down. Burdock root, we can't grow, as far as I know, we can't grow burdock root. So I kind of want that up and out of the way. Peppers, we can put peppers right here. Oops. Then we want then we can put the corn. Peppers. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Oh, baby. That is the problem with. Oh, baby. All right. Um, Picking the peppers, putting them over here. You know, maybe that was a really advanced player who would who would have really helped grow the site. But yes, I just don't feel like being social right now. I don't think we have enough to go around at the moment. Okay. Get reborn. Oh baby, right off the bat. Start off with that. Probably find the grave of my child. Gruesome sound. It went. But probably starved on its own. Oh, you can, baby. Alrighty here. So these are onions. Pick those out. Here. Put them up here. And we can pick out the tomatoes. Got quite a bit of food ready. So there's a bowl of gooseberries, then carrots, peppers, garlic, so on and so forth. Let's put worms back on some of these hardened rows, get them fertile again. Worm here. About to die. All right. Reborn. Babies. All right. So we've got gooseberries and carrots. Peppers. That tomato seed. That's potato. But fruit. fire. Tomatoes we can put over here. Clean up the area, stack baskets. Plate, we should probably carrots. And get reborn. No, baby. I'm putting tomatoes further. Grab the do is a little bit quicker. Backpack. Got multiple. And with our basket and our tomato, put it in the bag. Then we can this will be our row of tomatoes. Carrots, old one. Picked all of the carrots. I did not let them go to seed. That's not good. Need to get seed of a carrot. All right, so we can put that on. And then we just have a bunch of carrots right there. All right. That We're working. Squash, probably not in the best case row of onions. Let me take a look at my spreadsheet over here. I want to try to organize my spreadsheet just a little bit better at the moment. See what my food is looking like. Let's that thing there. Can I show this spreadsheet to you? I probably can. So what let's do. Let's take off that backpack. Let's just run out of town. Then should be able to drag this and throw it over here. So if y'all want to my spreadsheet I'm working on, y'all can here. I've got gooseberries with a food value of 1, and then we've got carrots. I've just started working on this again, so it's not very complete. We have beans. Should be able to take these. Down. There. Put these gooseberry ones back up here. So kind of organizing it a little bit in this section according to food value. Gooseberries, I think we should be eating first. Beans and then carrots. This one, the corn, does have food value, but I couldn't find that on the website here. Look at corn, ear of corn, and then if we chuck that ear of corn right here. Oh, it does say food. Okay. Good. Food 4. Didn't see that earlier, so we'll put a 4 in there. Okay, we got our burdock root, we've got our corn pepper, so on. And then, of course, some things like chili, 9, that's pretty nice. And then these pies, I forget, rabbit pie, carrot pie, what were those at? Rabbit pie. Cooked rabbit pie. The food of 6 also. I just looked at it, I'll stick it in here. But those things need ovens. Got oven there. Chili, I think, is going to need maybe a tripod and a fire. So it's a little bit harder to do than these things. Also, things like the wild grapes, the wild carrots, you can't grow those as soon as you pick a wild grape or a carrot, then you'd have to turn it into a domesticated version, which I've listed up here. So we're going to prioritize eating these foods first. I think this is the order it's going to have to go in. So if these are our multipliers, like I've got 10 different foods right now that are pretty handy. And then if we eat specifically the ones that we're craving, that's probably enough. So let me try play this one. Maybe we'll play this one. This first count. No, baby. Count what we've got. So here is a pile of wild onions, and that could be back up to camp anyway. And we've got our onions there, so we're just going to put wild onion right. Okay. So let's get to planting one of those. I can plant. And we need to water it. Make sure that none of our other done. Okay. All right, so that onion should go to seed at some point. I want to keep onion seeds. But it actually wasn't as bad as I thought. I think there's one plant though that really bad. If we let it grow, not go to seed, it's really hard to replace. But I forget what that is right off. All right, so let's grab our worm. That worm garden row there. Thing. We don't have a lot of garlic. Get a garlic plant. Oh, that's right. We can't do it that way. We've got to do it. Have time for that right now. Oh, babies. And since we're on our way up, let's just go ahead and grab that wild onion as well. And we can put it with the other one. I guess we probably want to stand on the road. Go to that. Okay. Let's see. I pull out that stake. So we want to stake the tomatoes. Be up here. Okay. I need some soil. I'm going to need a lot of soil. Lay out these rows. I don't want anything in this first row. I think the best way to do that is grow some wheat. I think when we grow wheat, it takes away the soil bed. We need to grow wheat anyway. That'll be our way to get rid of those. All right, soil it is. Have our backpack. Take it back down to where we started. That way when we restart, it'll be there for us. Say no babies. Backpack. So we're gonna try to do the real thing this time. Put on all of our clothes. Takes a couple of minutes, seconds. Takes some time. Got a pile of burdock roots here. Let's just put those in the backpack. Carry. Burdock root. Right. Then let's start with our food. See how this works. So what we should be able to do is grab a berry and eat that. So it looks like it's going to take us up 1 food point. Gooseberries. If I look at the chart here, gooseberries are 1. So we'll go ahead and eat that. Notice our bonus level didn't do anything. A wild pepper is going to give us 2 levels. So I think we should probably do that pretty soon. Let's go ahead and eat a carrot. So a carrot is going to give us 3, which is what we have here also. Let's put that over. Carrots are going to give us 3. Eat that. Now we have a bonus for level 1 and a bonus of +1. And then if we don't have any beans yet, so we need to work on that. The hot pepper is there, so we can grab a pepper. That. Now we're level 2 and a +3 bonus. And at this point, let's go and grab that wild pepper since we're full of food. I'm going to take a garlic in my bag and a onion in my bag also, and even a burdock root. Those in the bag. And then we're going to run down and grab the wild pepper, which should help us with our craving. Peppers should be found in the jungle biome. This right here is why the time it takes to get down here, we don't want to get eaten by the boar. But the time it takes to get down here, get eaten by the wolf either, is one of the reasons that we might want to build a road so we can move quite a bit quicker. All right, so let's look around here. The wild tomato, we don't want to get in the, want to spend a lot of time in here. Look at all the red we need to avoid. But there should be pepper plant. There's a wild tomato. Look for yums. Bananas, but over here. Wonder why these tomato plants. There's a wild pepper plant. It is a yum. We'll eat that. Notice that our bonus went up to a +5, level 4. And now a bowl of gooseberries get us 2 levels. And we know that we can get a bowl of gooseberries back at camp. So even though this little adventure down south right here took a little bit of extra time, I think it's going to be well worth it, because what we're going to notice is our bonus, our food level is going to be drastically affected now. Especially if this bowl of gooseberries Let's see, here's a clay bowl. Find a fresh tree. I don't know if this tree right here is full. Notice if we come up to here, it says wild gooseberry bush, wild gooseberry bush. And if I zoom in, get how many berries these trees are supposed to have. It looks like they have the same, 2, 4, 6. Looks like 2, 4, 6 on that one too. I think I've already eaten one off of that. 4, 6, maybe 6 is the max. Now we're going to take our bowl, scoop up the entire tree. Now we've got a bowl of gooseberries. And so when we eat that, we should have plenty. So this is going to be a +2 level. Eat that all. All right, so we got it. Now it's a MAF food, and we're looking for a cooked skewered bass fillet, which we're not going to get because we aren't doing anything with fishing right now. But notice that looks like our bonus is a +7 right there, and we've got a lot of stuff. So we're looking really good on the food scenario right now. Those gooseberries down here, we've got gooseberries. I don't know if that bowl is full, which is why I didn't use it. We're still down a little bit. Add peppers. I don't have a corn in my backpack. So let's go ahead and take the knife. Corn. The knife, tuck that corn. Take it and eat it. Now I've got a bonus of +13. Level 7. I think we're going to be looking really good for food. Plus I got a little bit of food over here as well. Omelet, cooked rabbit. Okay, so now that we've got some amount of time, it's 2:35 my time right now. Go ahead and work on this garden stuff a little bit more efficiently. Now that we have more time available for us. What I want to do is we've got our backpack. It does have a lot of food in it. Let's grab a basket over. Try to get some soil. Here we have some fertile soil. That I didn't want to use the right-hand side of this, but I think I'm going to anyway. Just put there. Soil. Building this area. Gooseberries don't need. We're going to get them off the trees. I think there's, get the count, 6 clumps of oil in there where we empty it out. I don't know if it's random or slightly random. or if there's an absolute specific number. Beans is something I should hunt down. But again, I don't like to hunt things down when I am using food, because you could spend a lot of time trying to hunt something down and basically you've eaten a bunch of your food, not accomplishing much except for just exploration. All right. So that's probably going to be plenty now here. And I say that because the way the soil is when it comes out of the ground right there is it, oh, tell you what, let's do. Grab the basket, go one more time. So now we have a wormy, empty soil pit. I think what we want to do, grab the worms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. We had 11 worms out of that. Not sure if that's the same all the time. Now we can come here and put our worms out. Okay. And what we want to do is we want to take a clay bowl. Why we need a lot of clay, starting to get filled up with things. And with these soil piles like they are, fresh out of the ground, there's actually 3 clumps in them. If we scoop one up, we can have one, we scoop it up again, another one, and if that one up, then it's gone, right? So there's 3 clumps. And I think, so here's a deep tilled soil row, and I forget what happens if you just have 1 clump. I don't think it works, or it doesn't work very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to use 2, but you always want 2. You don't need 3. So you can take 1 out of here and put it over to here. So now these have 2. You can take 1 out of there, 1 out of there, take 1 here, here. Now, all of these spots have 2 soil clumps on them, and they'll be perfect for something. Now, I could use this stick to turn this into a row. The problem with that is these sticks break quite often, and so I think I want to try to build a hoe. You can see that my food is coming down. Let's go ahead and take a burdock root out of that and eat it. Now we're at level 8. Even take out another yum. This is a onion, I think. Tell what I've got there. And so looks like it's going to give us 4 points and then plus a bonus. Now we're at bonus 7. Now got level 9. So we should be really good for a while now. We can also, in this game mod that I've got installed, the Hetu, you can hold down the Y button and you can see what foods are still yum foods for you that you haven't eaten yet. So it makes it real easy for those to stand out. I've obviously got, or I'm pretty sure I've got a tomato and a garlic still in my backpack. I've got food handy. Really nice when you're starting out to have a backpack of some food, just in case you're out somewhere and you're trying to survive for a longer period. I think what I want to do is I want to build a hoe, stone hoe. And so for that, I'm going to come down to where my milkweed stuff is, realize that I don't have any soil down here. Back up to grab a basket. Another wormless pit. That soil. The whole area was not really the best starting location. I didn't have a lot of soil. I want to start it around, I was trying to do the milkweed around this little water source right there. That's nearby. I'm going to tame that horse eventually. Way up over here. Still not seeing any good soil patch. Oh, hang on. Except for all of these soil patches. And it's right around this water too. So that's actually not doing it over here before. So let's scoop, dump, dump. 3, 4, 5, 6. 8. And we'll count a few of those. Hong, hey, how are you doing? Yeah, very good to hear or see you in chat also. How are you doing, man? I was just talking to Grady about you. Yeah, I was chatting with him, or I shouldn't say chatting with him really. Left a message with him yesterday or the day before, and he wrote back and said hi and all that kind of stuff. Very cool. Yeah. Great to see you here, man. As you can see, I'm going to be doing some streaming for 2 Hours One Life for the next maybe 1 or 2 weeks, I guess. Not really fully in the headspace. I don't know if you were, I forget if you were watching yesterday or not. But I'm not in a great headspace for any crypto stuff at all at the moment. And so I thought I'd stream this for a little bit, kind of getting into the game. And then last time I was playing this about a year ago, some people in our community were playing with me, us together. And so it was a lot of fun. So I thought I would start streaming this again and see if anybody wanted to play this for a little while. But yeah, it's great to have y'all back in chat and hanging out with you, because I'm definitely interested in DeFi Kingdoms, and I certainly am about to get back in. I mean, it's really close. So I think it's good to chat with y'all a little bit and get some new updates before I totally jump in. So what are you doing in DeFi Kingdoms? What are some of your goals for this month or something? That's a good question to ask. Work on my little garden over here and try to get some thread made so I can make or actually rope made so I can make a garden hoe. Let's see. Yeah, this game was cool. It is really cool. It's a multiplayer game also. I don't want to twist anyone's arm to get in and play, but I do want to make sure everyone knows that if anyone does want to play with me, as a cooperative type of thing, then certainly we all can join in here and get in together and do a little bit of stuff. But I don't really expect any of the crypto people or DeFi Kingdoms people to be all that interested enough to play, even though it might look cool. I'm really glad you were able to step away and take care. Yeah, man. I don't, not really interested in talking about it too much. It's not bad, but I just don't like talking about negative things very often. And it wasn't necessarily crypto, although getting into the such a deep and long bear market, of course, always affects most of us, I guess, in some kind of way. Um, I'm not sure if I would say that that was overly detrimental to my mental health or anything, but it was a little bit of something. But there was a lot of other things going on in my life too that needed to take care of and focus on for a little bit. So it was good that I could step away. Good that all of us, or at least I hope, all of us can step away when we need to. But yeah, I'm kind of interested in hearing. We're going to stick around here a little bit. What you're doing with DeFi Kingdom? Let me spread out this soil a little bit. That put it over there. Two and one. That pile. I'm getting kind of hungry here. Look over that. All right, looks good. No. See what we've got in our backpack here. Got a yum of a garlic. It looks like we've got going to be 4 food, which is what we expect from garlic, and we're going to get a bonus plus 10. So we'll go ahead and eat that. Got those 4 plus another 10. And what else do we have in our backpack? Nothing else. If we have nothing else, and we've got some food slots open right here, and we're going to eat from our bonus first. So we've got that plus 10 bonus. But even though we've got 4 empty things here, we will eat from our bonus. Notice that there's 9. All right, let's see. I think if I come over here and I look at yums, see that there's some wild garlic, which I don't really want to eat. There is a tomato. Grab that. Tomato. That gave us plus another 19. We're really good. Kong says, new year, fresh start, always a good thing. Absolutely. There's something about the new year, I think, that makes it real easy to start fresh, doesn't it? While we're over here, let's look for other yum foods. Let's see if we can pick up some things while we're here. I don't really want to use that wild garlic. I have to, so let's take a omelet. I can put the omelet in my pack. I can't. Maybe we'll take that over there with us. I should be able to take this cooked rabbit. We want the cooked rabbit. Put that in our pack. And let's look for some more yum foods. Carrots. We can grab a mushroom. These mushrooms have some psychedelic effects on us. That's one of the last foods that I kind of want to eat. We'll pick one up. We'll put it in our backpack and take it over here where we're working a little bit. Oh, there's an apple too. One of the last couple of apples. That'll give us a little something. I'll drop that right there for now. Let's see. Kong says, I've built a good army of around 150 high level, really refined heroes. Wow, congratulations. I really was intending to build my army, but I didn't. Guess it's never too late to start, but I do feel like I'm a little behind. So congratulations on your army. A good amount of Jewel locked until spring of 2025. Is that the normal time when everyone jumped in, or are you kind of, did you get in when it all started? Or did you get in a little bit later and you just did a few years down the road? Paying a lot of big time, or playing a lot of big time as well. Another crafting RPG. Oh, big time. Someone was telling me about that game, and I took a quick look at it. I didn't get into it at the time. But a friend of mine that I really valued his opinions on uh, said it was pretty good. So that's kind of cool. I'll have to look at that again. But congratulations on your army of heroes. That's really good. Are you using CFK Helper at all, or any of the bots type stuff to do things? See, I'm trying to time the top with the locked jewel, so to speak. Oh, interesting. Came in right before the perilous journey. Um, yeah, I came in maybe right before the perilous journey, but I was so new to it that I kind of almost feel like I might have come in. No, I did come in right before it because I did send like 10 of my heroes on the perilous journey. And for amazingly, quite a few of my heroes that I sent on the perilous journey, they survived. So I was like a higher percentage survived than I guess the average, even after we saw all the stats. So I was actually pretty satisfied with that. I know some people lost a higher number of heroes than the average that people lost, and that was kind of sucky. But yeah, came in right before the perilous journey. So yeah, you've been in for a while then. Very good. And you're trying to time that with a top for lock jewel. I didn't even think about doing that, but yeah, that's a real interesting idea that you thought to time it what you expected the market to be at. And you love Zelly's helper, absolutely, yeah. Zelly's is amazing. FK helper, I've still got that going, still paying for that, even though I've been away for a year. So he's gotten some good money with not a lot of my usage from that, but it's still doing some things. It's not. I've been away for so long. Keep getting these messages that something can't be done. I don't have this to make, so the bot can do whatever it needs to do for a whole lot of things. So I'm, I'm never, I'm not getting as much advantage out of the helper as I could be. But eventually I'll get back in there, fix everything up that I need to do. Gotten real close with Grady. Yeah, he's fighting in an influencer event in the Dominican Republic. I heard that someone was mentioning it yesterday, so I sent him a message, I think this morning, asking him a little bit more about that because just like you here, the other person yesterday had just told me that he's doing a fight in the Dominican Republic, but there wasn't any more information than that. Um, so yeah, I'd be kind of curious to hear how he's doing. That's kind of cool. I hope he does well with that. All right. A basket of. Oh, there is a stick right there. Okay, that's what I was really looking for was a stick. Let's go ahead and move some of these out. I guess we want to start up closer to the water if we. That is a problem. Oops, our stick broke. That's okay. Let's see. Dreamer as well. Oh, cool. Very good. Yeah, Dreamer's doing some amazing things as always. Guess I don't know specifics of what either of them have been up to recently, but I do know that they always impressed both, well, pretty much everyone on the team, I guess, really. At least from my outsider point of view. Uh-oh. 6. Be a problem. The team has been amazing through this bear. Yeah, man. Team has been amazing for sure through all kinds of things. And I really have to, I'm about to starve here. Let's eat one of those mushrooms before I do starve. Trip out a little bit. And what are some other things that I can eat? Oh, that omelet over here, and this apple. Let's eat the omelet. Now I've got a good bonus there. And even though apple tree is not producing anymore, I think I'm going to go ahead and eat these 2 apples also right now. Blue skies ahead now. Yeah. Yeah. I think if they're able to survive everything that they've survived so far, and if they are, if they're able to continue going as they have been, then I can't really see much of anything at this point that would block them, right? I mean, we've had internal staffing, or I shouldn't say, well, yeah, they have had some internal staffing. I don't even know if I want to say issues, but there have been some people internally that they had to let go for a couple of things. There's been, of course, the rumor mill about a lot of stuff. There was, and of course, the bear market, and with all of that, they're they're still able to keep it all together. And you gotta assume at this point they are in for the long haul. Yeah, got a really big bonus on food, so I'm really happy, I think, now with my level of food, and feel a lot more confident bringing in another player get in here if we have enough food that it can sustain someone for all this time fairly easily. We've got enough food that probably not going to run out. But I do want to make this hoe. What I'm going to need now, these seeds. What is that? Oh, flint. And then, of course, at this point, since I've eaten all this variety of food, I should be able to just eat some of the things that we already have a lot of, and it should help. Okay, so we want flowering. I think we need to wait for fruiting milkweed. We need to wait for it to fruit before we grab the seeds. Best team in crypto, absolutely. I do honestly think that. Con, did you ever get into Sandbox? That's something that I had gotten started before DeFi Kingdoms. And I'm not involved in Sandbox much at the moment, kind of like DeFi Kingdoms, but it is something that I do want to get back into. Here's a fruiting milkweed. So if we pick that, we should now be able to grab the debris in our backpack, getting these seeds. So there's 2 seeds. Oh, not going to my backpack. All right, so we got a few seeds. Some in our backpack, some out on the ground. Let's try to get some of these planted. over here at my new little farm area and get some milkweed going over here. Oh, oh, that's why I couldn't fit anymore. There was something else in my backpack. And one of those too. I guess we want to keep that in the backpack actually. But we didn't need that. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop that food right there. I can have a little bit more room in my backpack. Pick up the rest of these. Let's see. Kong says, I lightly wanted to do more. Seems like a lot of different ways to build there. Yeah, there are a lot of different ways to build. I'm sure I'm going to get back into it again later, but I was just kind of curious. Since, of course, you're into some crypto stuff, what other crypto things you might be in. Three, there's four. If I put one down. Yeah, I built a little game in there, and I probably am going to do more at some point, but I think it has lower priority than BFK does for me right now. BFK probably has a little bit higher priority for me at the moment. Okay, so we got several milkweeds going over here. I wish I had, oh, let's do another one here. And I think we're good. So we want to get that watered. So grab the water. Put it on that. Grab that water, put it on that row. Don't want to use all the water from these ponds because I don't think it regenerates after a certain point. So I don't know if y'all noticed that the water level seemed to drop a little bit with that last thing I put in. And so I don't want to do it again. So here's the water level is like right up near the top. I take some from here. I take some more from here. We can see it happen. So that's all wet planted now. All right, so we don't need any more water at this point. All right, so wet planted milkweed on all of these. Be growing several more, but I do need to find a sapling stick. Although I'm going to build that hoe really soon. In fact, I'm going to build that hoe as soon as these things turn into milkweed. So I think that'll be fine. Let's see. Oh, Mirandus. Oh, wow. Hong, did you join Mirandus from hearing me say something about it, or were you already in, or did you get in later? How do you? Because it, by the way you're talking and mentioning Mirandus, it sounds like you already knew that I was playing or had been interested, or did you just get in by yourself on your own thing? Let's see. Still have some Mirandus NFTs, yeah. Their alpha is supposed to launch at the end of Q1. Wow. Yeah, so I have a little bit in Mirandus. I really don't have much at all, but that was one game that I really wanted to get into. And for some reason, I didn't get in quite as deep as I wanted. Like some values of some things went up a lot higher than I was interested in before I could actually get to doing some of that stuff. All right, so let's see. My food meter is going down. I think I'm going to eat this. Let's see. So now I've got a bonus of 14. That gave me plus 17. Well, then probably, actually, I don't need a needle. That's fine. I don't need to get a needle out of that. I already got a couple of needles. That's fine. Our little milkweeds are growing. That's good. I think what I'm going to do at this point, pull some stuff off of some trees. Harvesting. Remember the last time I was playing this, I made a whole forest for gathering a bunch of different pieces of wood. It really came in handy what we were doing there. All right, let's see. We'll finally have a playable world that's always open and not just play testing that only lasts a few days. Open world RPG. Yes, that's one of the things I was waiting on. So the end of Q1. Awesome. So a couple months away, but still sounds amazing. I was in pretty early. Townstar got me in too. I think the only NFT that I actually bought in Townstar was, I want to say, like the dump truck or something. It wasn't anything too big. It was just this dump truck thing or some kind of truck. And I was about to, and so I was really, that was the very first NFT game that I had ever started to get into. And before I get into things, I really do a decent amount of research. And so I was looking around. I did a lot of research. I took like 2 or 3 days to research Townstar and look at that stuff. And yeah, the speedy delivery truck, absolutely. And I was pricing all of their NFTs, and some of them were like $10,000 and $20,000 worth US dollars of value. And I was just about to pull the trigger on one, and I was fine with paying 10 or 15 or $20,000. I forget what it was that I was going to buy. Um, but I was really fine with whatever it was. Um, and there might have been two things. Maybe I was trying to buy two NFTs that were going to be about 10 or $20,000 in general. Um, but I, within hours of me pulling the trigger on that and getting into Townstar, I I was doing a little bit more research, and I came across like other NFT games, and Sandbox was one that really stood out. So then I started to do a bunch of research on Sandbox, and I realized that Sandbox had a much bigger potential, more interesting things you could do, um, uh, building games yourself and being able to monetize that type of thing. And the list goes on, more stable and all this kind of stuff. And I'm so glad that I got into Sandbox rather than uh, Townstar. Yeah, that's how things happen. Absolutely. Just that I really feel like I had the guardian angel looking over my shoulder for that, because I almost spent, like I said, about $15,000-$20,000 on a Townstar NFT that plummeted. Of course, the Sandbox stuff kind of plummeted also with the bear market. That land that I bought, so I bought several pieces of land in Sandbox, and those lands I think at the time were about $5,000 to $7,000 each. And so I think I um, paid quite a bit for land overall. I'm hoping that they're going to go back up in value. At this point, I'm still pretty behind on that. But I do have a lot more confidence in Sandbox over the next few years. But I will say that I've seen some other games up and coming that are kind of like Sandbox in a way. They're virtual worlds and stuff like that. Although I don't know if you can build games in them like we can build games in Sandbox. But definitely as far as virtual worlds go and building towns and that kind of thing, um, the graphics are so much better. And I forget the name of that game right off. I'm not going to go look it up, but there's some new game that maybe I'll do some research again and pull up a tab so we can check it out next time. But it's almost like Sims. I guess it's kind of like Sims almost, but maybe even more configurable, perhaps. And so I was thinking, oh man, if these other games are coming up that are that good where you can live in these virtual worlds and you have that much customization and all this kind of stuff, that might take some of the wind out of Sandbox sales. If people can live in these other virtual worlds. Again, I think one of the biggest advantages Sandbox has is being able to build your own games. And I would kind of love to see DeFi Kingdoms be able to do that kind of thing as well. Maybe we'll have something in DeFi Kingdoms where we can kind of construct our own entertainment type stuff and not just rely on the team. In fact, that was one of the things that I know that the DFK team is trying to do, is they're wanting third-party people to build on the stuff and to develop things, which I think is fantastic. As another massive reason why I was really big into DeFi Kingdoms, was because they were doing that. I don't think that the things that we're going to see in DFK are quite as integrated as they're going to be in Sandbox. But just the fact that you do have third-party developers that are going to be able to build in DeFi Kingdoms for those NFTs, I think is going to be a massive advantage. All right, let me get back to this so I'm not standing around quite so much. Let's see, we've got, I don't think I want to eat any, I'll tell you what, I've got so many carrots. Let's see what carrots are going to do to me. So I've got a level 14, a bonus of 0, and if I take a carrot at this point, it's meh. So I've got a 3. And let's go ahead and eat that. So it only gave me 3, but it's math food with no bonus. But I'm level 14. So I've really, really got to be eating unique foods all the time. I didn't lose my bonus. I still have a 14. Let's eat one more carrot. So with that carrot, I will go up to level 15 at the next, or plus 15 next bonus next yum. When I eat that, it only takes me up 3. I'm still at 14. Okay, so yeah, I don't want to eat some of these foods, especially since I'm only half paying attention to the game right now because I'm chatting so much. Let's see. Sandbox much better. It will really do well over the next couple of years. Yeah, I think so. Great partners. I love the SimCity building games. Yeah. I think that's one reason, I shouldn't say, I got into SimCity, where you actually build the city. And that was a game that I played a lot. I think it was called SimCity 2000. We don't need to look it up, but I think SimCity 2000 was a game that I played for a couple of years. Really got into it quite a bit. All right, looks like I'm about to starve because I don't really want to eat a lot of my other non-yum foods at this point. Well, I lived a pretty long life um, eating the foods that we've got there. I'm just going to come down back to my starting area, take off my stuff here. Prepare for either the next person. Next time I get in, to come in here and get all that stuff back up. So we got our milkweed going, which was one of the biggest things I wanted to do this time. I'm going to build a hoe next time we regenerate here in a second as well. Let's see. Yep, U2 for the SimCity 2000. What I'm going to guess. Cool. All right, 65. I lived half of my years. So I think the oldest you can live is 120 years old. Oh, that was a good life. But I obviously need to be making more food. So we got most of these here. We got the gooseberries, the carrots, the beans, the broccoli root, the corn, pepper. I didn't have cucumber, didn't have beans. But we did have onions, tomatoes, garlic, and the mushroom. And then I think I had a couple of other things also. I'm not sure if I ate a banana. No, I don't think I ate a banana. I think we ate a wild pepper because of the bonus that we got from it at one time. And then we got a bowl of the bowl of gooseberries. Actually, I should add in here. How much is a bowl of gooseberries? That is, it's just a food of one, but it's still counted as a yum. Okay. All right, so we've got a gooseberry single, but then we've got the bowl of gooseberries. That bowl berry. The food value is one. And maybe I guess use bowl, obviously. All right. Do I just download the game? Yeah. So there is a, I think, please, if you would, check the video description. And I think in the video description, I've got a couple of links. The first one is this right here, 2 Hours, One Life. And I think I can just put this in the chat. But if you would check the video description just to make sure it's in there also. And then from here, this link specifically is the first time playing. What they do is they require that you join their Discord. And then from their Discord, you get an account. When you type /account, you get your special account information, which has a key, and you want to keep that key private, but it allows you to log into the game. Here's the downloading button where you can go and download the game itself. They have a download for Windows and for Linux, and then they have a little install for Windows and Linux, launching it, logging in. However, and then they have a first time play. I think the first time play you were required to play the tutorial. Just go through that. I think that's fine. And then after your first time play, do stuff. But what I'm also going to recommend, if you see it in the video description as well, is this other link. If I can find it, this one right here. So this is a game mod. And it's put out, it's on GitHub, and it's open source. The game itself is open source as well, but this mod is also open source. And what this mod does is you download it, and there's a download for Windows, and there's a download for Linux. And it's called the Hetu module. And what it's going to do is it's going to provide you with a lot of really good advantages or extra keystrokes and stuff that you can do. In fact, let me send you this video link that I found. I haven't finished watching the whole thing yet. Of course, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that is really good. But this girl right here, an original artist, is doing a video for 2 Hours, One Life, setting up a Spawn general guide. And this is kind of what I'm doing myself here live. And so she goes from the very beginning, and she also uses the game mod, Hetu game mod. And so she'll show off a few things. One of the things, as an example, that the game mod does, it shows you your your local coordinates, your XY positioning right up here in the upper left, which the normal game doesn't. It also, in the game mod, let me get back to the game itself. Also, when you do this, you can zoom in and out a lot more. If I go under settings, a couple of the things that you probably want under gameplay is you probably want to, or maybe it's under control. Maybe I don't have the ability to change that in this. That's fine. It looks like a couple of the things the normal game has to switch on, the mod automatically turns on. So that's great. That's good that we don't have to do it ourselves manually. And then when you start off, what you want to do, you can say no, don't play with friends. I think that's fine. But then where it says where to spawn, you want to say specific. And then I'm going to send you, I don't want to stream our spawn code, but I will send you our spawn code, and that way you can start right in the same place that I'm starting, and you can be a part of our little group that does stuff. So is Discord, are we hooked up in Discord together? If not, send me a message on Discord, or send me a message on YouTube, and I'll get you the spawn code for us to use. And then all you need to do is say use the spawn code, check off that little box, and put in the spawn code that I give you, and then you'll start right up where we're starting. And then you can say play. Right? And then when you play, we will always spawn at the same little location. And like I've probably been showing you, our camp is to the left and up. And if you come up here, you'll start to see where we're building things up in here, and the gardens and the food and all this kind of stuff. And also her video, if you watch this girl's video right here, it will give you some tips on how to get started, because I'll guarantee you there's a challenge to this game for new people where food really becomes an issue. And normally what I do is, for the last day and a half, I have just been allowing myself to starve. Like, I've not been eating my food because I've been trying to build up our food storages. So when people like you come in, you can have access to this food, and I wouldn't have eaten it all. But I don't want, if you're going to join in, you should feel free to eat the food if you want. But for me, because I'm new and I'm slow, and like right now I'm talking with chat, and I'm not actively doing anything, and so my food meter's ticking down, and I don't want to be eating food when my food meter's ticking down like this. I'm kind of wasting the food. So I'll just usually let myself starve unless I've got a real thing to focus on, or unless we've got someone like you in chat that I want to show. It's a much more fun game when you're actually eating the food and doing all the stuff you're supposed to. But yeah, you should be able to come up to here. And something else that the game mod does is when you hold down the Y button, the yum food that you're eating for the first time is yum, and it gives you those bonuses. You see them pulsing, so you can easily see which foods are yum, and you can go right after those. Helps it to stand out. Here again, you can zoom out in the game a lot more using the game mod, and we see our coordinates up here, so you don't get lost as easy, because you can wander off pretty easily in the game in general. And Yeah, so those are a couple things. And then there's I think an H button. We can press H to have a whole bunch more toggle buttons and game buttons that we can do to control things that aren't in the normal game. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, if you want to get involved in this, this is a pretty fun game. I will say it's not crypto based, but sometimes I don't know. I just like to play games that are a little bit more relaxed. Something else that I guess I'll show you right here too. There is a tech tree. So let me give you this link right here. Control C. I'm just going to paste this into chat as well. And so here's a tech tree that you can get access to as well. There is an in-game version of this in a way where you can kind of see what you need to put together to build what. But I kind of like this tech tree. So let's say that, one of the things that you might want to do if you're going to join in with us, I'm working on food. You're welcome to work on food also if you want to help build up our food storages. But one of the other things that we are going to want to build really soon is do some smithing. We want to build like a shovel, for example. So if we put in shovel, we want to build this, I think we want a copper shovel. Bronze shovel is where we're going to start. We want to build this bronze shovel to start off with. And so what we can do is we can look at this tech tree and we can see that for the shovel, we need to get a maple branch, and then we need to use a round stone and tap that against a hard rock to get a sharp stone. And we're going to tap the sharp stone on the straight branch to get the long straight shaft for the shovel. And then we want that shovel head. And the shovel head is a little bit more complex. And so we're going to need the shovel head, which comes from this hot bronze shovel head. And then if we look at that, we can see we're going to need a bronze smithing hammer, and we're going to need all this other stuff. And I haven't even started to build this smithing thing, but it's really cool. And I remember, and this is another reason why I don't eat a lot of food, because I spend a lot of time looking at these charts and trying to find out, okay, what do I need to build this stuff? And this is something I really like about these type of games, right? Yeah, it shows you the build layout and all that kind of thing. There are other ways you could look at it too. So they've got the tech tree, but they've also got the crafting recipes page. So it shows you all of the ingredients that you're going to need to build this up. And then it starts you off. Here's step number 1. Here's step number 2. So you need your hands on a U branch to get the U branch, or a U tree to get the branch. Then you're going to need the stone hatchet to get all of these things. You're going to need to build the kiln. Then you're going to need to get the charcoal, and we're going to need to get baskets of charcoal. And then we're going to need to put the charcoal in with this casterite. We're going to need to put that in a empty bowl with a plate on top to build this crucible. And you see, there's just tons of steps that we need to go through. And so, of course, again, it all takes time. I remember doing this last year. It seems like it's a lot. I don't want you to get overwhelmed with the amount of stuff. Once you know how to do it, it almost comes like second nature to put all this together. And you get pretty good at it pretty quick. I think it only took me a couple of days of practice before I really got good at doing all this part and making these shovel heads and all this. But I've been out of practice so long that I would need to look at this chart again. Absolutely. Let me catch up in chat. But I just wanted to show you there are different ways to look at this. And then there's not only how to get these items here, but then there's how to use these items. So you can use these you can use these things in different ways to get different outcomes or stuff like that. Let me see what you got over here in chat. I'll do some research and watch your video. Absolutely. Watching that video is great. And then anytime you want to practice and play, feel free to jump in our little world and practice. I will say, though, that if you're going to join our seed area, please keep something in mind. One is, let's get out of that. Oops. H again. There we go. Please keep in mind that resources are very limited. And so, whoops. Help me. Didn't mean to do that. We stop that game, let's say. All right. um, resources are very limited. And so what I would appreciate from you is if you're going to be like testing some things out or practicing on some things that or you're not quite sure, or maybe you're going to use a lot of resources, then you might want to do that in a different spawn area. So you'd just click on the spawn code and you'd change your spawn code to something else, and then you'd play in that different spawn area. Otherwise, like for example, if you use up all the water in here, I think that our ponds will go away. Or if you eat up all of the raw foods, and some of these raw foods might uh, be required to get the seeds to start those seed plants, then you might make it a little bit harder for us to find those again and create that stuff. I'm not saying you can't do that around here. I do want you to kind of experiment around our area as well. But if you're recognizing that you might be using up some non-renewable resources, then you might think about playing those in different areas. And then when you've got a handle of it, come back to our little area. Just something to keep. Let's see. Your Discord is Kong2880 is your Discord. I'll send you a message in just a little bit. Do some research. Got it. Would you rather built up a surplus of food first? Yes. So if you want to focus, and actually I think one of the better things, the easier things to learn is making food. And it's so as you being a new player, you might have an easier time just making food and learning how to do that. And because making food and having a good food supply is so important, then getting your help, if you want to help just building up the food, would be amazing help right now, because even though I'm kind of doing it a little bit, having two people do it, especially when we're just getting started as a little colony, makes it a lot easier, because I'm not even able to feed myself right now, or I feel like I'm not able to feed myself because we have such little food in the works that as you and new people are coming in, I want to make sure that y'all have enough food that y'all can enjoy the game and not have to keep starving yourselves every 5 minutes. So yeah, if you want to do that, we're building our little garden here, and building up all these unique foods would be great. Let's see. And also something else, I remember last time when I was playing, even if two people are trying to do the same type of thing, like if we're both trying to build up food or something, I've noticed that it's really easy to collaborate on things like that. Like some of us could be doing some different parts, or collecting different things that we need to build it up. And even that aspect in collaborating on something very specific like the gardens or the food can be a lot of fun to collaborate on. And it's very unlikely, or I didn't notice that there were times when we would like run into each other when I was doing this last year and we were working on the same items. You know, sometimes there are games when two people are trying to do the same thing, they kind of butt heads or collide a little bit, and it's not quite as what's the word I'm looking for? There's a little, it causes a little bit of headache or stuff. But in this game, I've noticed that that's not really true. Two people can easily be working on the same thing at the same time, so that's fine. Cool, you can smith stuff. Yeah, you can. Shows you how to build the layout. Gotcha. We'll spawn in a different area to practice. Absolutely. But also, if you're gonna, start building some things, it'd be much better to build up our area that we're starting rather than get too far in building up some random area. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to this. So yeah, cool. Let me hop over to Discord, and I'm going to send you our spawn code if you just want to jump in real quick. I think you said 80. I'm going to send you a message right now. I don't have it. You know what I can do? I can come to, I don't think you and I have talked probably. already. Well, I'm going to probably most easily find you in DeFi Kingdoms stuff, then probably under here I can look for Kong 2880. Probably message privately, maybe. It's me, Rock. And there you go. So I've sent you a message. Our secret spawn code for 2 hours, 1 life is. There we go. So, you're welcome to share that spawn code with people that you know in groups. I just don't want random internet people getting a hold of that. And, you know, because we might have griefers or people that just like to mess things up. I'm not going to be too restrictive on who gets that. But if you know somebody and they're interested and I'm not responding or something like that, then feel free to shoot that to anybody you want. All right, let me get out of that message. Okay. And if you have any problems with that, then just let me know. I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming Kong, and I don't know how long you have to hang out right now either. But for the past 2 days, I've been playing this game pretty much non-stop. And so even if I'm not streaming, I'm probably just going to go eat something, and then I'll get right back into it. So if you showed up here, then you might see me, or I might see you wandering around. Something else that we want to be sure to do, we probably don't want babies to be born. And another thing is real human players get born from us. Right? So that's another unique thing about this game. I don't know if I mentioned that to you before. So when you first start the game, I might request that you press enter and type no BB. I don't know if you can see that at the bottom of my screen, no space BB, and then just press enter. And that turns off babies. So you don't have to have babies. And she'll say that in her video too, if you're going to watch that other video. She'll describe that having babies here when you're trying to set up a spawn site is challenging because you've got to, for the first couple of years of the baby's life, you've got to actually take care of and maintain the baby. I think until like 4 or 5 years old, which isn't very long, but, and then sometimes those babies are very helpful, but sometimes those babies are not friendly and they'll kind of do their own things. Yeah. Like, I mean, they're humans. Sometimes humans aren't going to be nice. Most of them are, though, are. All right, let's see. You're gonna have to go? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't worry about that, Kong. I'm glad that you could hang out with me here as long as you could. Yeah, thanks, man. And like I said, I'll be in the game the whole time. Feel free to come back and jump in anytime. If you don't see me live, you might see me in the game. So I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at. Good meridian to you. And I'll chat with you soon. All right, I'm going to continue to work here. So let's see. One of the things that I was doing is, yeah, thanks, man. It'll be fun to get some more people in here. Let's see. I was working on the garden, and specifically what I wanted to do is I wanted to build this garden tool, a hoe, a little bit more advanced than that stick. And what I needed to do to get that to happen was I needed some of this milkweed. So we're going to come over here. It looks like I'm about to starve. So let me just walk out of the area again. And we'll let ourselves starve out there. Okay. And we'll get reborn again. This time we're just going to walk straight in. crafting guide, so we can do that. Now we want milkweed, and actually we want a rope. So I'm going to take one of those. Two of those together makes a thread, and then we'll take another one and a fourth one. Put those two milkweeds down together, and then with two threads, we can put those together and get a rope. And with the rope, we can now back out of that a little bit. Grab, I have a sharp stone somewhere. Ah, we got one down here, sharp stone. So let's take that sharp stone and hit a straight branch to get this. Then we can put that in our basket. Uh-oh, I don't think that straight shaft is going to fit in our basket. All right, so let's take the basket and the stone over there. Let's take the straight branch there. So now what we're going to do, we're going to, we can take that out. What? All right, we're going to take the rope and put it onto the long straight branch to get a tied long shaft. We're going to take the sharp stone, add it to that. Now we have a stone hoe. Then with that stone hoe, we have a much better tool than the sapling piece. Come over here and we have fertile soil, and we can turn all of these into nice garden rows. And our hoe could break after some amount of time, but the hoe lasts a lot longer than the little saplings there. And now I'm about to starve again, so I'm just going to come over here to die. We really need to get that milkweed. I remember last game I was playing a year ago. We ended up doing a forest of milkweed. Ultimately, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make a wheel. I forget what that wheel called. Spinning wheel. There we go. We're going to want to make a spinning wheel, and that spinning wheel is going to give us a lot more thread, but we're not, and this is going to be a little bit of a build to make. We're looking at that, right? Got a lot of things that we need to do, including piles of nails and other stuff as well. And along with this, I think iron, a wrought iron chisel, smithing hammer. Yeah, so we're gonna, and it's a steel chisel is what we're saying here also. So we might even need to be doing steel, is a step above bronze, to do that. So that might be a little while off before we can start that spinning wheel. But ultimately that would be really good to build for us. We don't have one right now. Okay, so I think what I want to do is, yeah, until we get the spinning wheel, we really need a lot of milkweed to get the ropes and the threads that we need. And as you can see, that took 4 of our plants to get that hoe. Now we've only got 2 left up here, and I think we've got 1 more milkweed down here. Yeah, 1 milkweed down here still. And so we really need to get our milkweed production going. All right. Big crab. Juniper. All right, so let's do a little bit more here. So we've got a bunch more of these rows built out. Good. And let's grab seeds. plop those in rows. And I think milkweed gives us an infinite number of seeds, but the seeds do despawn after, I think, 5 minutes or something. And then this milkweed debris will despawn also. I think we've got to utilize all that we want in a certain amount of time fairly quickly. Oh, here we got our watering bowl. Tell you what, I'm going to not water one of those. I'm going to see if that pond about to starve. Let's drop and get out of the way. Get reborn. Back up to here. And again, I think that this pond is a little low on water, so up. Dry. Got a couple more dry ones. Now I think this pond is looking a little low also. Go over to this one. Do some more there. Dry. Let's grab one there. You know what so here's a good example. I was just talking to Kong a little earlier. I doubt Kong is still in chat with us. But here's an example of what I was talking about as far as like using up resources. I am scared to, or not scared necessarily, but I would rather not use up a duck pond that's close to our home base and drain all the water out of it and so on if I don't have to. So one of the things that we might do is I might practice with that kind of a far away from home. And actually, come to think of it, I dump the water. Can I just put it in another pond? Yeah, I think I can put it in another pond. But notice that that goose went away, right? Well, now it's a flooded pond. I don't even know if that's going to... I'm about to starve, and I don't want to lose this bowl that I... Let's just bring this... Drop it, and then... Which also means I did that pretty close to town, and I didn't intend to. One thing I might want to do... Maybe I should set up another spawn point where we can just practice and play with things. And we can all share that spawn point as well. That way we can, when we do want to practice, we've at least got maybe a little bit of a construction going, because sometimes the things that we're going to want to play with aren't, in fact, maybe I just need to rethink that whole thing. Maybe just practicing away from town and not with a different spawn point, but just a little bit away from the city is going to be good. Maybe I'll make a road, because I remember last year we had roads that went pretty far from town, and it provided plenty of wide open space to practice and play. In fact, yeah, I think that's what I need to do. We probably don't want an additional spawn point. We probably just want to go sufficiently away from town And the best way to do that would be to build a road that we can travel faster on to get over to that area. Because I think ultimately, as we're doing some practicing, we're going to want all of our town's resources available um, to do whatever it is we're trying to do to practice. You know, if you need a bowl as an example, and you don't want to have to go and build a bowl at a new spawn point to just try to practice with doing something with a bowl. So I think that's what I'm going to start doing. So Kong, if you're still listening, I'm probably just going to tell you that again. And I guess from now on, I'll just tell new people. We're going to do something down a long road. So maybe I want to build that road. Let's see. We're doing milkweed, and let me just check on that. We want to get those milkweeds. Ah, I heard you, brother. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think we do want to do things off in this spawn point, but just away from the main city. Just you heard me, so I don't need to repeat it, but that just makes a lot more sense than trying to do stuff in a new spawn point. Okay, so let's see. We've got our milkweed growing. That milkweed is not growing, but we still have a seed there. We still have this seed here, and our milkweed debris has vanished. So I'm just doing a little experiment myself, trying to see if the dry planted milkweed is going to go away. If that's sufficient to keep it around. Notice the debris is gone. We can't pick any more seeds. I think this milkweed seed is going to go away also in a little bit. We'll check back here shortly. But for right now, we're going to need a forest of milkweed. So we may as well, or I may as well, get started scooping up the soil and putting it around here. So scoop, dump, scoop, and scoop and dump. And guess if Kong or if anybody's still listening, not that you're going to remember this necessarily, but I'll just go ahead and say it again. Sometimes I think me speaking in repetition sometimes helps us. I know it helps me to learn when I hear things a second or third time sometimes. And I haven't seen a lot of videos about this, but when you're scooping up this dirt with a basket, I don't know if you were listening to me earlier when I was talking about this, but it plops down. So now this soil pit is empty. Well, there are worms in there, but there's no more dirt. When we plop things down, there's 3 piles of soil here. And we can see that by using a bowl, which I don't have a bowl handy. It's we're about to starve, so we're gonna come out here. Starve and start back over, and then I can grab this bowl. So no babies. Oops. No BB. When we first get started, come up to here. We're going to grab this bowl. Then once we have a bowl, a clay bowl, we come up to the soil area. Then when we're plopping down soil here, we've got 3 clusters of soil. So I can scoop up with a bowl and drop 1, scoop up with a bowl and drop 2, scoop up with a bowl, now it's all gone, and drop 3. And when we're doing that, we could use the hoe on that 3 batch of soil and get a deeply tilled row, but that's a little bit wasteful. So one thing about this game is that I think is a good way to play is we try to be as efficient as possible in a lot of different areas. And so one of the things might be to be efficient with our soil. Again, there is a limited resource of soil, at least until we can get our composting boxes made. Once we get composting boxes constructed, then we have more access to fertile soil. But until then, we do have a limited amount of these soil deposits. So we want to use it fairly wisely. And so if we grab 2 clusters of soil together, then that will be what we want. So this one has 3 clusters right there. We want to put one, and then we'll take this one from this and put it there. So again, this one has 3 clusters, so we'll just take one of those piles and put it with these branches. So we'll just put one cluster of soil there, and then we'll take a cluster of that and add it to that. So now we've got 2, 2, and 2, and yeah, you'll be able to recognize at some point what 2 clusters of soil looks like and what 3 clusters looks like. They look very similar, but different enough that with a trained eye you can spot it. And it's not too big a deal. If anybody who's listening, if we're doing soil with 3, because at some point we will have, oops, let's say no babies, no BB. At some point we will have a composting box, and so everything will be okay. So let's put that there, and let's take another. We don't want to put this soil too far away from this watering source, otherwise it makes it a little difficult to get to. Let's take that and put it there. That soil and put it there. Another one. Clump and 2 clumps. All right, so we got 2, 2, 2, 2, 2s on all of those. 2 and 2 there. 2 clumps, 2, 2. All right, so all of those have 2 clumps again. Now we're ready to go. We can take our stone hoe and tap, 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 tap. Things worked out. Oops. Dink, dink. All right. Nelson, hey, how you doing, Nelson? Nelson, did you find the video from the 2 Hours One Life stuff that I'm putting in there? Are you a 2 Hours One Life player, or are you have you been keeping up with stuff I've been doing from DFK and Sandbox and other games like that? I don't recognize your name. All right, so we're just going to come over here and ourselves. Tell you what, I've got a little bit of time left. Maybe I can drag some more of these flat stones into our area to extend this road a little bit. Not a player. I'm friends with. Oh, Nervix. Oh, cool. Very cool. How's Nervix doing these days? I know he was building a lot of stuff in Sandbox. I think the last I knew, he was doing a lot of really good stuff with some game development. I don't want to say company necessarily, although maybe it was a company, but certainly doing game design, right? And I was really proud of accomplishments in that area. All right, tell you what, I want this road to come off to the left. And where do we want to end up building this? We ultimately want to build this. We want to do it up here a little bit. We want to do this right in line with this well site. I think right up here where we're going to start backing it. I think right here. So we should have this set of tiles all the way across there, and that's what we're going to do. Well, let's see. Try to be as efficient as possible. we're going to go through some trees. Need to go around those trees. Let's see. We're moving here. We're on this road. Let's say that we're on this road right here. We're just coming across. And if we have to go up one, then we can travel pretty far. All right, so let's do that. Right here. Maybe something else I want. Maybe I should. Talking about building the road out here, but maybe I should actually worry a little bit more about building the road down here where we actually are using it and going to start. So Nelson, are you working on things with Nervix? Put another one right. Not finding very many effect. A few more down here in this area. That's good. All right. Yeah, slow going on this road, but it'll help us move faster. And I think it also is going to keep us slightly warmer, which we need because our temperature, our body temperature, certainly affects how quickly we go through food. So if we can stay on the roads a little bit more often, not only moving faster, but staying a little warmer, that'll ultimately help. Here. Decent amount of flat further to the west. Oh, look at all those. That's what I ought to do is start to build some out since I'm going so far to the west. Okay, so here's this other spring down here. So tell you what let's do. Let's start to build them out this direction. So if we are at this level, we go down one more, we're actually on the spring. We don't want to be there. So if we're at this level, a lot of stuff in the way. Maybe we want to go south instead of north. The trees there too. But that here. All right, let's start to do something here. All right. We're just going to build this road. across this. And I'm about to starve with this little character, but when I do starve, I will grab the stakes that we're going to need, and I'll bring back the stakes that we need for the road. Okay, so let's get reborn. And then from here, I can just come up to our hideout. Up at the top of these are a pile of stakes right here. And if you want to build or work on a road, I'm trying to make a grid. So we always want to move in exactly horizontal or vertical pathways as much as possible, because the game doesn't let you move at a diagonal. Technically, if you want to move at a diagonal, you've got to, you seem to move there fine, but you can't build, or you can't, I don't think you can go on a road diagonally. You've got to build, you could build like a stair step effect for a road, but you can't go diagonally on a road. And so for that reason, it's just more efficient to build vertical and horizontal parts to this road. So if we have the stakes, then we can, in fact, I probably want to get, we're going to need a round stone, and we can take the stakes, throw those down, tap those in once, drop that, tap that in once, drop that, tap that in once, and we're building our road across, right? So I know that there's probably going to be plenty of round stones down there where I'm headed, but there aren't any stakes. So let's just take a stake. We can leave the round stone there. I've got plenty of other stakes in that pile. And what I want to do is I want to come back down. Here we were building, did I lose? Oh, here it is. And from here, I'm about to starve again, but I can get those stakes down there at least. Now, it'll be a little easier. See how slow we are going across this? It'll be a little bit better once we have the road built. This frozen wasteland, look at our temperature start to go down a lot right there. And we're on that ice. That's not good for our consumption of food. All right, so here we can find a round stone. And so then what we're going to do is we're going to tap that into the ground, drop that floor, tap that into the ground, drop that floor. All right. And then I skipped over that one right there, not intentionally, how it happened. Building away. All right. And we'll just leave it right there. And so we'll just keep adding. I'm almost starved again right now, but there's plenty of little flat stones up here, and we'll work on this in a minute. Head back over here. And this little road will take us through some biomes, some different biomes, which is good because we want to collect a bunch of different things. Also, we got more resources over here, so we can kind of pull these resources over to our home base area, which for some reason seemed to be fairly consumed of resources. I don't know if there had been someone who had been playing there earlier. Highly unlikely, but possible. You know, faster we walk on the road here. Help us get back and forth to this area much better. Oh, you know what though? I need to put one right in here. Drop this right in there. Otherwise that'll stop us. Also, something I noticed, sometimes it's very difficult to hit what you need to hit. So you want to be careful. So I put that stakes behind this tree, and if you just click on this and you're hitting the tree, and that's not what you want to do, right? So you got to like really move your mouse and get right on those stakes. You'll kind of notice that the stakes get highlighted a little bit. I don't know if you can tell that too much. See how the stakes get highlighted, or the tree gets highlighted, or the stakes, or the tree, so on. And so pretty small. But hopefully y'all see that in the video, not too blurry. But then once you highlight the item that you actually want to interact with, that's when you know that you can do whatever it is you need to do. So let's grab our stone, make sure that we highlight the stakes back there, and then we can do a right click on it. Oops, we can do a left click on it, and that puts the floor stakes down. And then we can grab the flat rock and drop that on the stakes. And again, you got to really zoom in. Notice that the tree is highlighted, but then we can just move around a little bit. And now it says the floor stakes are highlighted, and it even says floor stakes there. Then we can drop that on there. And then now we've got our full high-speed highway running through here. Okay, drop that. Let's go back and get moving much faster. And this road will bring us hopefully a lot faster out to this area with new resources. What we're looking for. Easy access to other resources and easy access to a place where we can not have to worry about the resources. We're doing other things with. We want to experiment off to the west of town. We've got this nice little area to do that. Again, behind the tree. Make sure we're highlighting the stakes behind the tree. Flat rock. Drop it on stakes. Not going to hide the stone behind the tree. Two. Ways here. Here. If we had a cart, we could carry 5 of these at a time. The cart is a little bit more advanced. Don't have access to one yet. Step off the road while I finish starving here. Started back up. Corn. So I've been forgetting to do no baby. No baby. Eventually this whole path will be on a road. So much better for us. Got to knock that in. Nope. Something else that, Hong, I don't know if you're still here, but if anyone else is listening as well, something else that I really like about these roads and delivering resources from far away from town to our town center is people can come. Like there might be times when some of us feel just zoning out a little bit or not being too productive, or maybe some people don't really know how to get started. But they want to feel productive. A lot of times just coming out to these places that are far from town, gathering these resources and putting them close, like right next to the road, is a great, you would not believe how helpful that would be. So right now I'm spending a couple of seconds, valuable time, when your, when your health bar or your food bar is being considered, and not having to go away from the road, which is slower, and more time is spent, and you're just picking up a couple of things at a time. Really, I should ultimately have a backpack with me anyway right now. But picking up some of these items, and if you bring this stuff back to the road, then the next person who comes by, or even you later on, can just fly down this road and easily pick up stuff right off the side of the road. It also helps coordinate, or maybe coordinate's not quite the right word, but collect, I guess, a bunch of different items rather than having to go and search for them, to know that a lot of them are right there by the road. And so it just makes the whole process of collecting resources a lot more speedy if someone has already done even just the simple work of bringing things next to the road, not even if you bring it all the way back into town. Sometimes coming all the way back into town, back and forth can be a little tedious. But just bringing things right up to the road, I found last year, was amazingly helpful. That's something else that can be done. Yeah, just grab stuff and pile them up next to the road. And once the road is extended out, of course, you want to put them next to the closer. You don't have to walk too far. But yeah, very helpful. Like some of these little things here. Goes in piles. Some things pile up easily. Some things don't pile up easily. You've got to put individual items there, but all of this stuff can be helpful. And even if it's just one at a time, oh, let's get back to extending our road a little bit more. So I need some of these flat stones. Oh, Kong is still here. Gotcha about the road, doing the tutorial now. Awesome, cool. Yeah, the tutorial, um, I wouldn't necessarily speed through the tutorial. I mean, you want to learn stuff a little bit. Uh, Sometimes I find the game a little challenging. There's a little bit of a learning curve. I guess that's with all games. And of course, we want you to learn as much as you can and be as efficient as you can. Going through the tutorial is good. I'm carved right there on the road. That's not great. You know what? This time I'm going to take a basket over there because to move skeletons, you need a basket. And I don't really like town being cluttered up with skeletons. So it's real easy to make a basket. Got so many over here that I'm just going to take a basket and leave a basket in this section over here. So in case anyone does die or if somebody wants to use a basket to collect things, we've got a basket over here. We should have a basket almost every place that we go anyway. I'm just going to scoop up those bones. I'd just drop them off to the side. Those bones. It doesn't really hurt anything having those bones there. Just aesthetics and OCD maybe. All right, and then we're just going to leave the basket on the road right there. So if anyone wants to find it, they can find it really easy. Something else about the road that I guess I'll say, not that anyone has to follow exactly what I do, and maybe there's a more efficient way to do it. But when we're talking about roads and we're talking about moving things towards the road, sometimes what I have done in the past, or the way that I like to do things, is if there's something really important that you want people to see or that you want to be able to find yourself really easily, put it in the road. Then that way you can see, oh, there's a basket. I really need that. Or like a backpack or something highly important. Like if you know, like if a couple of us are playing together and someone is way off somewhere out of town, creating something, maybe building something that's easier to build far away from town for some reason, then you can put it on the road and then we can do our little chat and say, hey, Bob or Sam or Sally, come in, I've got this new little piece or part. I've left it on the road over here where I'm at. And then the person can just run down the road, easily spot it. Whereas if there's a bunch of things on the side of the road, those can be helpful, but the side of the road might start to get very cluttered as well with things that we do ultimately want, but we might not need them urgently right then. So putting things in the road that you definitely want to spot quickly can be very helpful as well. All right. Here, we're not too far from our town now. A little bit more to go. All right. Some more those flat rocks. Getting kind of sparse. Yeah. Pop that down. The one. Oh, let's see. Got you about the road doing three. Yeah, I already saw that. Oh, I see another little flat stone there. Oh, from that person that died. That person. It was me. grab that flat rock right there and do a little quicker. Something else that maybe I ought to do is grab a bunch of these flat rocks and move them close to the road. I don't have to do quite so. We're about to starve, so let's get off the road. I'll just start to bring a bunch of these flat ones to the road. That'll make it faster for that part. Yeah. Getting there. Yeah, so for here, I'm going to bring these flat stones just right to the side of the road there. I'll go this part go a little quicker. Stack these. I think we can stack them 4 or 5 tall. Then we'll just make another pile. I remember a year ago when I was doing this, we had a pretty extensive road system. We could get to a lot of places pretty far fairly quickly. And then, of course, one of the guys, he was a little bit more advanced. I think that he found our channel from 2 Hours One Life. He'd already been playing for a while, and he was a little bit more advanced, which was cool to have a player like that. And he made some cool things. He made a horse-drawn cart that allowed us to carry quite a bit more and at even faster speed. It's cool. And I think he ultimately made 3 or 4 of them. So for several people that were playing, we all had our little horse-drawn carts. He was doing that for us while I was working on some kind of engine. Maybe it was a diesel engine. I forget what it was. But it was something that, oh man, it was a complex thing. It was taking a long time. I think it had to do with some kind of mining rig. We were trying to do something to, or maybe make oil, or forget exactly what we were doing. But it was a pretty complex thing. Oh man, the setup for that device, whatever it was crazy. It was fun, but it took a long time to do. I think I'm just about done collecting and then start building the road a little. Yeah, see, this type of work is what I like to do without eating food. But tell anyone else how to play. Y'all want food? And yeah, if we had a ton of food, I'd probably be eating food also, so I wouldn't have to reset every time. A lot smoother game when you're playing for 2 hours straight, because you do have enough food. All right, I just think this is plenty for now. Get one more, and I'll just do this. All right, there. Then, see, it's real easy. Just back here, grab another one. Click. Doing a right click instead of a left click on that. About to star, full here to do that. All right. Maybe I don't, but I might have time to get rock. Closer. Road for that. Stakes. Smack it with a stone. Grab another. Stakes. Smack it with a stone. Go back and grab another one. Wrong click. Yeah, something else I like about this mod that we've installed is it tells you your age down here at the bottom also. And of course, with me not eating, I'm not living long enough for it to really matter too much what my age is. But the maximum age that you can live to is 120 years old, being 2 hours, one life. That 120 is the number of minutes. Every minute of the game time, 1 year of life. And so it's kind of neat to see how old you are, because once you do get up to be a little older, you are going to start to be a little bit less efficient in your food stores. Like when you're in middle age and even maybe some early age, you're going to have a really big food bar, and you'll be able to go a long time without eating. I say a long time, pretty long without eating. Then as you get older again, up into your 90s and 100s, and your food bar automatically starts to dwindle again. And at some point, I think you're going to have like food bar of 4. And so it's going to be pretty hard to stay alive. Ooh, what do we have there? Harvested rice. We need rice. I guess I harvested this sometime yesterday, and I just didn't bring it back to the city. But we could definitely bring that rice back and start making a little rice plantation or field or whatever. As one more unique food item. Taking it. Notice the global chat down here in the bottom of the screen. I haven't been paying attention to it, but there are other human players playing right now in some other part of the world. I don't know if I've mentioned this recently, but this map, this game map, is I think 40,000 tiles across from left to right and 40,000 tiles top to bottom. It's a massive map, massive big map. So there are other human players playing around in here right now. Sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes, depending on how it's where you start, you might see people riding around with horses. So riding a horse is faster than walking, of course, and we can domesticate those horses. It takes a little bit of effort to domesticate them, but once you do, then you can you have to build a couple of other things. Like I think you have to build a saddle and some other stuff, but eventually you can um, ride those horses, travel very far, very fast. And so people like to, or I guess once people have made those horses, it's generally a common thing to go out and explore further out than they normally explore around their cities. So occasionally you'll see people ride a horse by just to see, hey, what are people doing so far out from where they live? Oops, no babies. I've been doing that every time. Oh yeah, look how close we are now. Road's getting in. Okay, so here's where I need to make a little decision. So this road can't go straight through at the moment because we've got these trees in the way. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here. Then I think I can just go straight over. Yeah, I am. Straight over. I don't really want to be on that. I want to go over one more, and then I want to go up two spaces. I can't do that either because there's these reeds in the way. To get rid of these reeds, we're going to need a shovel. And these reeds, actually, we could pick them right now. Oops, we can't unless we have a sharp stone, which we have one down here. So go ahead and grab this little sharp stone. Make a reed basket right here. So we can grab this sharp stone. Back up to these reeds. You can just go chop, 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 chop. And we can drop the sharp stone by the road so someone else, or maybe us ourselves, can find it easier later. And then we can come and we can pick up reeds. One. We add these two reed bundles together. There's a basket. Grab this reed. There's another one hiding behind these trees somewhere. I'm just going to move the mouse around until it highlights it. Oh, there it is right there. Harvested tool or tule. And we can just drop it right on top of that one. Get another basket. And what we might want to do, there's some clay. That's kind of neat. We might want to pick up some clay, drop it in there. The baskets can hold 3 items each. So we'll drop 3 clay and we'll put it by the side of the road as well. And that way, one of us coming by can see this basket of clay and it's already been collected for the next person, right? We don't need to do that. Just little time savers like that will help the rest of our little group. So we all don't need to do that stuff each time. I'm going to grab this basket and we'll collect a little bit more clay. I think that's all the clay in that one, but we can collect one from there. And we can drop another clay basket right there. Again, next person in our group who's walking down this road will be able to grab the clay basket already prepared. Oh, oops, I forgot to set those stakes first. There. We want to stake it. All right. Go grab it. Rock, stone, flat stone. Grab that. Drop that right there on the floor stakes. Drop it on the floor stakes, please. Yep. Very hard to see, but I think we want to those stakes there. With just put that stone out from under the tree where we can see a little bit better. Oops. Uh-oh, there's a weirdness. Okay, we got it though. There. Come up to here, drop those stakes. We're about to starve, so we'll just get out of the way. And then when we come back, we'll winding around the road there. Yeah, look at this. Look how close we are to our little home base. Getting right down close. All right, let's grab those stakes again. Drop them there behind the tree. So we're going to have to use our mouse to kind of find it behind the tree. Drop this away from the tree, just a bit easier. See what's going on. Oops, no babies. No baby. And then we can drop that there. Oops, drop it. Move the stakes. Stone. Find the stakes behind the tree. That's always hard to do. Should be about the center of the tile, I think. That's tough to find. Is that it? That is hard to find. Stakes. So let's. What else can we? I think we can drop something else there, maybe. Try to help us find it. We pick up a piece of clay and drop the clay there. And we have the stakes again. Really need stakes there. All right, so I'm about to die again. Stakes are somewhere back in there. Sometimes zooming in and moving the mouse around very slowly helps to locate them. Could be here. All right, so tell you what we're going to do. Can't find where to nail those stakes in like this. So what we might end up having to do is chop down one of these trees, maybe this bald cypress eventually, to complete this little road thing right in here. In the meantime, we're just going to skip over it. So I'm going to drop this clay there instead. That allows me to pick up the stakes even without seeing them. Then I'm just going to put those. We walk straight across here? Come up one more anyway. Need to come up here anyway to avoid this little pool stump right there. So I'll just put this down here and just do it that way. Wow, I've almost gone through all of my flat rocks. There. that in. Now, about to starve again. So, I think we want to grab the rest of those flat rocks now. Now we can go straight across from this location here. We should have some flat rocks. I'm going to take them down to the roadside, drop them off, grab some more, drop them off at the roadside. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be here before I need to go eat. Probably another 10, 12 minutes. Whatever time zone y'all are in, it'll be 5 p.m. for me. That'll be a good time for me to go and eat some dinner. Probably the normal times that I'm going to eat dinner is 5 p.m. my time. So in about 12 minutes from now will be my normal dinner time for most days. And I'll probably stop the stream. I don't know if I'm going to stream again after that, but I will definitely be playing the game, just maybe not on the stream. So if y'all want to join in, just send me a message either here on YouTube or on Discord. Most of y'all that are watching right now or watch in the future will probably already know how to get in touch with me through one of those places. And I will send you the secret pawn code that you need to get started in our little area. And then you can find me playing. Now, right now, if Kong or if someone else were to spawn in, of course, I would be doing, and for the last maybe hour, I've been doing stuff way off over here, not in our main city. And so it might seem like I'm not active. And of course, certainly there will be times when I'm not in the game, absolutely. But it can be easy if someone's doing something far away from the game central for a while, or our town central, that it might seem like nobody else is around. But I think this game also, I think the mod version that we're playing has a way to see who's around you. I do a first do no baby, and if I type in the boar around here, let me get out of the way of the boar. You don't want to get stabbed by this boar. If I say enter key and then I am rock, and I don't know if I can add my, oh, I can add rock 808. Okay, I am rock 808. And it says I am rock 808. And I think what that means then also is if there are other people near me or us together, then in the upper right of our game screen, we should see other people that are nearby. And that's a way that we could kind of tell that so-and-so is in the game or that someone else is kind of around, and we can say hi to each other and that kind of thing. And kind of do a little bit of coordination if there's anything we need to coordinate on. Oops. That again. Flats. All right, I think we got enough, couple of piles of flat stones there. So let's start at base. See if we can see that. Oh, there it is, right there. Oh, I'm noticing it's a little bit, not quite in the center like I thought. It's a little bit lower than the center. So that's something that I should look for later also. But let's that. And we're about to starve. Step off to the side a little bit. No, baby. We zoom out, walk this way. Oh, getting really close. Almost there. All right, zoom in. Let's grab that stone. Tap our stakes. I'm going to drop the stone off to the side a bit. Go. Yeah, see there's our connection right there. There's the natural spring right over here on the right. So we're getting really close to where we want to be. End up. There. Tap. Get another. Stone first. Then we tap it. Go. It'll be good once we have a cart. We can carry a bunch of these at once. This isn't taking too long. I think I've got the routine down now. Pretty quick. We got about 5 more minutes on the stream before I go and eat. Like I said, I will I'll definitely end the stream while I'm eating, and I will be playing more this evening. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream it. So this might be the last that y'all are going to hear from me today, unless you join the game. And sometimes I take 30 minutes to eat. Sometimes I take an hour. Sometimes I hang out with my partner for a little bit. She likes to watch some shows, perhaps, or something that we might do. But I will definitely be back in the game by 3 hours from now, at the absolute latest, if not before then. And then I'll probably play for several more hours, probably 3 hours, 4 hours after that. I'll be playing. Closer. All right, so we got this flint. This flint will just stick off to the side of the road here. So way. Someone else can come and pick that up early. Now here, what do I want to do with this? So we don't want the road necessarily right in the way of the spring. Well, maybe it doesn't matter too much because we're actually going to be having the road up here. Maybe that is okay to have the tile right there and then the road can just go straight north. I need to think about how this intersection is going to go here. So let's grab a couple more stones. We're a little bit away, like 2 or 3 stones away from doing the intersection. That one or 2 more we're going to need. Only got 1 here. That's fine. We'll only do 1. Okay. Pop that right there. So the big question is, when we get to here, when we have our natural spring, we probably want to go, of course, we're still going to continue eventually to go further to the right, but we don't need to do that right now, I don't think. But we are going to want to go up because, oops, right at that point. No babies. Because we do want to, look how close, our spawn point's right there and the road is right here. So at this point, we do want to plan on our northward adventure. We want that road to come up. We want it to go up as smoothly as possible without as many turns, without any turns if we can avoid it. But we do not want to go through this wild gooseberry. And now we see we've got a pond, which we probably want to keep, and this bold cypress, which doesn't really matter. So we probably want to go off to the left one step, then straight up from there. But our other road is right here. So, but there's a, that's okay to have a, we'll eventually get rid of this tool, or how to, the E is silent or not. But we'll eventually get rid of this reed stump right here. And the road will continue to go straight. But we may as well make it right here, except that the gooseberries, and then the pond is in the way right there. I don't think that I want to go over 2 spaces to the left and then run into the cypress tree further down here. So maybe what we want to do is we want to go 1 space to the right. And that way we can build all through this area. So we get to here. And then 1 space to the left. Right there. That probably looks okay. That actually looks pretty good. That's what we're going to do. We need, what do we need? We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Six. Out a total of 26 more stones. That's ultimately going to be quite a few, isn't it? Donate. Hey, how are you doing, man? How are you doing? You came in just at the time I'm wrapping up the stream. I will be back on tomorrow. I think I've been streaming for how long today so far? Let's see. 3 hours and 44 minutes. Oh my goodness, that's been kind of long. I don't know if you had been, how long you've been listening, if you heard that I was streaming this game for a little bit, or I will be streaming the game for a little bit, 2 Hours, One Life. If you check, if you're interested in playing along with a few of us, looks like Kong might peek in here with us every now and then. He just downloaded the game today, and we're going to be doing stuff. I'm going to be playing the game more hours very soon, like tonight or in a couple of hours, but I need to go eat right now. So I'm going to end the stream, I'm going to go eat, and I don't know if you are interested in playing this type of game at all, but in the video description, there should be 2 download links. One for the game engine itself, 2 Hours, One Life, and then there's a mod that, let's see if I can find that real quick. There's a mod for the game that allows some special stuff, whether you have Windows or Linux. Anyway, you might not want to play this at all, and if not, that's fine. But if you just want to talk about DFK stuff or whatever, I will be back on stream tomorrow. Things. Anyway, The game 2 Hours, One Life is what I'm streaming here for a couple of, maybe a week or two. But of course, if any of my old fans and followers are doing DeFi Kingdoms and sandbox stuff, or anything else really, crypto, whatever, then I'm happy to chat with y'all. And Donny, thanks for stopping by. And Kong, I don't know if you're still listening or not. Nelson, thanks for stopping by. And Kong, I look forward to seeing you in the game sometime if you are still listening, or if you play this video back sometime later. Until then, folks, thanks so much for being here. And I guess until next time, rock on.